Living together. When children move in next door, it takes time to get to know each other. As you play together, you learn how to get along. For example, you find ways to agree on the rules for a game you are playing. After all the people were baptized on Pentecost, they needed to learn how to get along. The people who believed in Jesus wanted to be together. After they were baptized, they were filled with the Holy Spirit. But how were they going to live together day after day? The disciples taught them about Jesus and what he taught. The people ate meals together like a family. They spent time together like a family. They also prayed for one another. When one person was shivering in the cold, someone gave him a coat and he was warm again. Perhaps another person was hungry. Someone gave her food and they ate together. When anything was needed, those who owned things sold them. They gave the money to the believers so that everyone had enough. No one was left out. Because they were all faithful Jews, the people went to the temple every day. When they got home again, they ate together. They prayed and ate and laughed together. Everyone was happy and loved. Other people watched them. More and more people believed in Jesus. More and more people were baptized. More and more people showed everyone God's love by the way they lived.
Hi everybody. Happy June. Can you believe it's already summertime? What a crazy year we've had so far. So this week, we heard the story of what happened after Pentecost. And it got me thinking, how often in many of the stories or movies that we watch, does it follow the characters until something is fixed or maybe two people get together and then it ends? We don't see what happens afterwards. Think about some Disney movies. For instance, once Ariel marries Prince Eric in The Little Mermaid, do they just get along together? We don't know. But they probably had to learn how to live together, and that takes a lot of love and work, as some of you may know from having siblings. It is not easy. What about The Lion King? Once Simba comes back and the hyenas are gone, how do they learn how to live and share all the food with each other again after not having very much for so long? That takes huge amounts of trust that everyone will share with each other. That is not easy either. But one movie that I thought of that does give us a pretty good glimpse of what the disciples' life must have been like sharing everything is Moana. Remember, before she leaves in the beginning, they show how the whole village comes together to work and share all the food, the baskets they make, the fish they catch, and the nets that they weave. They share everything. There's no talk of money. There's no talk of how much something costs because it all belongs to everyone, and they share it. No one keeps everything for themselves, but instead they make sure that everyone has enough first, that everyone is fed first. And that too is not an easy thing to do. But this is what the disciples are doing in the story that we hear today. The Holy Spirit has come. Everyone got really excited. A bunch of people were baptized and joined their community, and now the movie part is over. Now, they are having to learn how to live and share everything together, day by day. Have you ever had a hard time sharing? Maybe with things like toys, food, games, or clothes with friends or family? I know I have. I have a younger sister, and growing up, she would always steal my clothes. It made me so mad. I didn't want to share things with her because I was afraid she would either ruin it or she would never give it back. I was so focused on what I was losing and what I didn't have that I never thought of what she was gaining or what she didn't have. Should my sister have asked to borrow my clothes first? Probably. But now, when I look back at that and think of what the disciples would do, they would share first and trust that when the time came that they might need something back, that same community, those same people would be there to share whatever they had back with them. This is a hard thing to do, both as adults and as kids. But it is the way Jesus would have us live, focusing on what we can share rather than what we don't have, showing people that we can offer what we have and show them how to share and trust that we will all have enough and share with each other. You might even see the protests happening outside or on the news. And that, in a way, is also about sharing. It's about people who look like me needing to share more of what I have with people who don't look like me. Because we have too many toys, too many clothes, and too many privileges that other people don't have. And so we are being asked to remember to share, to give to people who don't have things, not thinking about what we are losing, because it's about sharing with everyone first. This story that we read today comes at a good time to remind us of that, right? I know sharing can be really hard, but it can also be really beautiful. Like we hear in the story, there was enough of everything to go around. Nobody was without food. Nobody didn't have a coat to put on. Everyone was safe and warm and fed. God needs us to remember that there is enough for everyone, no matter what others might say. So this week, let's practice sharing. Let's be like Moana's village and like the disciples after Pentecost. When all of the shine wears off and the excitement starts to fade, that's when the real work happens. Maybe that means sharing clothes with your siblings. Maybe that means giving some of your toys, clothes, and food to people who really need it right now. There are a lot of ways that we can share like the disciples did. Just ask your parents and they can help you look too. These are the things that make God so, so happy. The things that bring us together. Let's look after one another and share with each other. Have a good week.